Well guys, we're back out here this morning in our pea patch and it is looking fantastic. I mean, the peas are covering over everything. We've had some of the best weather I think we could have ever had for peas. The only problem is it's fixing to turn cold, and I don't know how they're going to do in the cold. They're loaded. I mean, you look at those peas. They're just beautiful hanging here. And they're all through it like this. We got all different size peas in here. We got little bitty ones like this right here. We got big old long ones like this here. And guys, so far, the deer have not messed with it. The bone sauce from Permapasture Farms, Mr. Billy created, has worked well. I can't complain. Normally by now, the deer would have eaten everything up, but so far they've not touched it. We've got some really severe weather moving in here tonight. It's one reason we want to do this video. We like to do a before and an after so that we see, you know, how it's going to look. And right now it looks fantastic. We're supposed to have a bunch of straight line winds and maybe some tornadoes and severe rain and wind and all. May not look like that tomorrow. So we're going to get some footage of it ahead of time. So at least we'll know what it did look like. And it's looking good so far. I'm very well pleased. I think that, you know, if it doesn't get too cold, there's a possibility that the peas might make for eating. I don't know if they'll ever stay here long enough to be dry. And, you know, if they make, we'll be happy. I would like for them to be able to dry, because if they do, we could sell the seeds to our subscriber who's been asking for them, because this variety here, for those of you who are new, is the Red Rippers. And we've had lots of people ask about them and want them. And we thought maybe we had them in time to be able to maybe have some seeds to sell off of them. And we still don't know just yet. Depends on this weather. We've had extremely hot weather up until now. And now we've got this cold front coming in here. It's not supposed to frost or anything like that, but only time will tell. We'll see. There's lots of things on the homestead here we're trying to take care of ahead of this weather this morning. One of it is getting stuff picked up at the cabin, getting a little video footage shot of the peas, and the sugar cane behind us is still standing. But after tonight, I don't know about that. We'll show you that now. Well guys, this is the sugar cane. You know, as we see, we did a video about this past week about, you know, how that it didn't do good at all here. And this is really not good. I mean, it's really kind of tiny, small cane. But we left about half of the patch. We took the upper half up and we went over and planted it by the high tunnels and done the new type of planting that we're going to do over there for consolidated spaces, you might say. And we left this right here because we wanted to let it get a little more growth out of it, and we might decide, being this end of it is doing pretty good, we might leave this half of it right down here for next year, and then just incorporate some of these stalks into another place over here and get them going too, and have two separate patches so that next year we have enough cane to do what we need to do with. So right now it's all standing, but with these strong winds and all coming in here, guys, it may not look like this tomorrow. We're on the other side now of the peas, upper side of them, and I have my Siberian dwarf kale. We planted it in two stages. We put this little patch in first, then I came in behind it here and I put a whole nother long strip between us and the peas there at a different stage, so that it's not all up at exactly the same time. Last year we had this whole field planted in Siberian kale, and the deer mowed it all down. I mean, they literally, Wanda and I got a few messes out of it, but they basically wiped it every bit out. And so far, like I told you, we've been putting the bone sauce on for the peas. The deer have not come. They've not messed with it, and it's actually getting a chance to grow. We're excited about that, and we're just waiting now for it to get some size. With this cool weather coming in and some more rain, maybe we'll have some to harvest here before long and be able to eat. And then we have this space right here. This space right here has been cleared up for quite some time now. And Technically yesterday, a crew was supposed to come in here and actually started doing something right here, and their truck broke down and they couldn't get in here. Hopefully, after all this weather's over with and everything, maybe they can get in here and get this project taken care of for us, and we'll be a little bit better situated over here. Well, here guys, I'm over in another spot over here. We came in here. Y'all who watch us on a regular basis know I made a comment that I spent like 20 hours 2 days on a tractor. Well, I actually ended up having to spend another day on a tractor. So now I'm up to like 30 hours on a tractor, just non-stop moving dirt from one part of our homestead to another part of our homestead. And this is what I've done. I've laid out this big pad in here. We have a big surprise coming in here next year. Or possibly maybe by Christmas. We don't know. Let's just put it this way. At this point with our economy, we don't know. It's because the supply chain is broken down. And we have this big project, so we're going to say from Christmas, hopefully by Christmas, if not next year. But we have a big surprise coming right here for the homestead. And I've moved all the dirt in here, done all the foundation work in here for it. Now all I'm doing is waiting for it to rain on it. I've got the hay put around the edges of it. I've got it all seeded down with grass and all real good. And we're gonna let it just rain, settle the dirt down, settle it real good, get it compacted like it needs to be. We'll come in here and we'll reshoot all of it, and we'll make sure that it's not out of whack bad. And guys, Deep South Homestead in 2021 has been making a lot of changes, and we're trying to get it so that by the time 2022 comes around, most of our projects will be done, and we will be able to sit back and start enjoying the fruits of our labor before the economy goes too bad. So guys, we're back up at the front garden. We've harvested everything out of the front garden except some of our okra, the Star of David. We're letting some more of it dry here for seeds to have. And I went ahead and planted broadleaf mustard in here because broadleaf mustard is a great nematode control. If you let it grow, and then this spring, if you'll turn it all in about 2 or 3 weeks before you plant it, it makes a fantastic broadleaf control. So we've got mustard all over this in here. And now we've got a few peas left here. Now this is the Dixie Lees. We're gonna run down through here and pick them. And anything that's dry, we'll put that in our dry beans for making dry soup and stuff. And anything that's green, we'll shell it out. We've been actually eating on these peas now for several months. And you'd be surprised what them few little old plants has provided and how many meals for me and Ms. Wanda. I like the color variation in those. These are the ones, these are really good for eating, but these are our dry ones. These are good for eating. Look at the color variation in them. It's really nice. We're gonna have plenty though, I believe. We're gonna go ahead, what we decided, we're gonna go ahead and clean the vines up. That way, what's too little we'll just make snaps out of to go in with it. And then we can go ahead and clean all these vines up, because we need to be able to get all this cleaned up so that we can take all this down and be able to come in here and lime it, fertilize it, till it, and get it all ready for next year. We're over here at our third high tunnel. We've been working on it periodically when I get time. I just don't have a lot of time right now. We ordered the screen. We got the screen in. It goes down the side. It took a while to get that. We finally got it in. We've got the track around everything now for the wiggle wire and the plastic to go in. I've got the ends of almost completely framed. I got to come in and I got to frame up a wall right here, put the 1/2-inch plywood here, pour a concrete footing down there, do the same thing on the other side, and do it on all 4 places. We'll be completely finished with all the framing then. I don't have the glass opener in on this end. I do have it in on the other end. It's been mounted down there already. I have everything. It's just one of those things. I haven't got to it yet. But we're actively trying to get this one done. I've got to go move some extra dirt in here and put along this side right here before all the weather gets in here and tries to do any more damage. It's just, guys, when you got as many projects going as we do here on our homestead, and there's only 2 of us, we don't hire our work out usually. There's a few things we're going to hire out because we just can't get to everything. It's such a big project to keep everything going. We try to use common sense and let someone else do the things that we can't get to that's really time sensitive. Now, if they weren't time sensitive, we wouldn't worry about it because everything else on the homestead Wanda and I has built. But we're in crunch mode right now. We do believe that next year may be our final year for having everything available to us. So we decided to go ahead and hire some stuff out just to get it done before next year. All right, this is the opener vent that we have here. This is a little arm. This is a different style than we used on the other one. They don't make the style that we used on the other high tunnels. We had to go with this. I don't really like this, but it's all that's available to us now. So we don't really have much of a choice. And a lot of people are asking us the questions, why is everything painted white? Well, technically speaking, I've built greenhouses for several years, even for other companies. And one of the things that's a big requirement with a lot of greenhouse companies, and I do it with high tunnels now, is that everything is to be painted white. It's more of a light reflector. It helps the plants to grow better if the insides are all white and bright. Now, we don't have everything on the inside of this one painted white just yet because we're trying to get the plastic on, and we can paint the inside of it once we get the plastic on. But guys, painting a high tunnel or a greenhouse white really helps with the growth of the plants. According to many of the greenhouse companies that I've worked for, putting up them structures for them in the past. Okay guys, this is one of the projects we did one evening this past week. After talking to the guy that supplies us with hay every year, he told us there's going to be a hay shortage. So Wanda and I went ahead and ordered through him enough hay for another year. And he's going to be bringing one more load. We went ahead and got this and got it wrapped to protect it from the weather. And guys, I'm telling you, in the deep south, they're talking about there's going to be no hay. And then next year, he's saying that it's possible that the fuel, there could be a shortage with fuel. And if you could get the fuel to do all this with, that the price of the hay would just be unreasonably high. So what we done was opted this year, while it's available at a decent price, to go ahead and buy enough hay to last all year. Now this is just 1/4, not even a quarter of the hay that we've got. We've got, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be right at 60 rolls of hay, which will make us for 1 year here at Deep South Homestead. So guys, if you have hay and need hay, according to what I'm finding out, there may be a shortage next year. You might want to stock up. Well guys, here is what we have been waiting on to get put in this position for quite some time now. A great team of guys came out and installed it for us today. It's not a very big shed. We didn't need a big one here at the cabin. We just needed something for little odd end things to kind of complete it. Ms. Wanda had a sign here. This is our plant and patio. We'll probably put this out here somewhere on here. Plant and pick, not plant and patio.
It's got gardening supplies.
Gardening supplies is going to be on this, from a shovel to the seed. That's what we get so tired of having to run back and forth to the house to get a hoe, a shovel, a rake, and all that kind of stuff. So we just wanted a building over here at the cabin to be able to put all that stuff in. And the guys who set this up for us actually watch us on YouTube. So thank y'all for the good job that you did today. We really look forward to using the shed. Now the shed will have solar put on it for the cabin. We'll also have the generator hooked up to it to run the cabin. And it's got a multi-purpose use, this building does here. So guys, we are excited now. We're ready to move on to the next part of this project, which will be putting a porch roof on the front of it out here and putting us a porch on here. Then it will look like it's part of the cabin. Now we're going to paint it the same color as the cabin. The trim will be like the cabin. The colors will be the same as the cabin. And the roof is the same color as the cabin. So it's all going to match eventually. So just a work in progress, guys. Thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.